Okay, so everyone is asking me this to the point where I have to make a video. Should Romania and Moldova unite? Now, before I explain my point, I need to tell the international audience what Moldova is. It's one of the poorest nations in Europe, and as you can see, it's this yellow blob right here. And it's occupied by people who are Romanians. If you go there, they speak Romanian, they talk Romanian, they have similar cultures with Moldavia, at least in theory. The reason for this is that during the Cold War, Stalin has deported a lot of ethnical Romanians from there, moved them into Siberia, moved them into the gulags, and replaced them with Russians that were loyal to the Soviet Union. And so over the decades, you have a lot of mixture in the cultures to the point where Russian is now spoken as a second language in Moldavia. I don't think it's official, but if you go into Moldavia and you speak Russian, most people understand you. So now with the new president, Ms. Sandu, she basically suggests that Moldavia should unite with Romania. I honestly don't know why they haven't done it up until now. Like, especially when Russia invaded Ukraine, there was an opportune moment. Because what they benefit from it is they managed to join the EU and NATO. Like, the moment the unification happens, since Romania is a member, at least in theory, Moldavia would become a EU and a NATO member. Now, while there is the patriotism of saying that, yes, Moldavia and Romania uniting is a good thing, especially since my grandmother on my father's side came from Bessarabia, I don't want to just have a propaganda video, and I also want to tell some of the negative aspects that I've noticed the television just fails to mention them. And people who are for the unification, they need to understand the downsides of it as well as the good sides. So, the downsides is that nothing much would change. Like, currently, people from Moldavia that want to come and work into Romania can do so. The process is very simple. The paperwork has been streamlined. I've not heard personally of a single Moldavian that just wants to come to Romania to not be allowed to do so. Nor have I heard of a vice versa, where a Romanian wants to go to Moldavia to have any difficulty in accomplishing it. And so, the benefit from, people just wanting to travel from one place to another is almost insignificant. The other problem is that if Romania unites with Moldavia, that means that 150,000 Russians become Romanians. And that means that almost all of the Moldavians, including those 150,000 Russians, would get a right to vote in the Romanian parliament. Now you may ask, okay, well, V, are you Russophobic? Like, do you hate the Russians so much that you're afraid if they have a right to vote? Well, let me put it this way. After the Soviet Union fell, every single nation abolished communism. Like, even in my country, we still had, like, a communist transition period with a president by the name of Ion Iliescu. But even in his case, he was avoiding the word communist like the plague. Like, most European nations basically saying we're done with communism. Moldova is the exception. Like, they literally created a communist party afterwards, and they voted for that, and Moldova became communist again. And so, do I really want people that vote communism to start voting in my nation, to create political parties, to basically push far left ideas, not social far left ideas, but like economic far left ideas? Like, does that advantage me, basically? Like, would that improve my economy? Would it improve my way of life? The answer is no, right? So, like, in the current situation where people can just cross the border anyway, and they can do business with each other anyway, why would I want them to have a right to vote knowing that their nation economically was very communist leaning? Even after, like, the rest of Europe stopped doing that. So, like, this is a problem. Again, I'm not saying that it's a deal breaker, but it is something that should be discussed. It is like, okay, if you want this, this is what you'll get. Like, you need to understand before saying, oh yes, unification, good. It's like, okay, sure. But this is like one of the problems that comes with it. The other problem is the security issue, right? So Moldova is currently having a frozen conflict in Transnistria. This is basically like a division of the Red Army that didn't leave. It's still there. They have this enclave over there. And I understand there's like a stalemate where they have like this huge weapons depot and they threaten to blow it up and poison the water and river if they're ever attacked. Some shit like that. Romania is in NATO, right? So like if you join with Moldavia and they have a frozen conflict in Transnistria, what does that mean? Like, what if they don't want to provide security for Transnistria? And so I generally don't know. I have not heard a conversation of what exactly would happen if a nation that's already a NATO member and an EU member wants to unite with more territory. And that territory comes with specific security baggage. Like, does the unification automatically make them a member in the EU and NATO? Again, like, this is something that's not being discussed. And I wonder why. Because, like, I look at the television, I hear slogans, I hear people going, like, we should unite. And I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. But what about these other issues? Which, again, I'm not saying they're deal breakers. But what I am saying is, like, what happens with them? Like, do we find out after the unification? Like, can we not discuss them now? Because there might be solutions for them. I don't know. But it's interesting, right? The second thing is, like, from a Romanian point of view, like, if we are completely cynical and we don't care about, being ideologues or anything like that, having a buffer state between your nation and Russia is actually a good thing. I'm just saying, like, strategically speaking, right? Having a border directly with Russia is not necessarily a nice thing. Like, look at Poland, right? And so, like, having a buffer state, from a Romanian perspective, is a good thing. From a Moldavian perspective, is not. Like, if I was living in Moldavia, I wouldn't like that. But I live in Romania. I gotta say, I'm looking out for my own interests. Having a buffer state, and I understand many people are upset with what I'm saying now, but it's geopolitics. Like, if you look at history, yes, like, many nations do prefer having buffer states with areas of the globe that are causing a little bit instability, like Russia, for instance. But other than that, yeah, I thought that the unification would just happen when Moldova enters the European Union, because then they're in the Schengen area anyway. Then they can travel without any documents anyway. And so, my advantage is that they don't get to vote in the Romanian parliament. And when it comes to voting, I'm insanely selfish. I am extremely selfish. Like, the more people there are, the more dilute my vote is. So, like, why is it in my interest to have people that vote left to basically have a right to vote? Like, no, I don't want that. And by the way, like, Americans don't want that either, right? Like, this is why people from Texas are freaking out when people from California are coming there. Because people from California vote Democrat, people in Texas vote Republican, and they don't like that. The other way around is also true. Like, if you have a blue state and you have, like, individuals that come in and they vote right-wing, they hate that. Right? So, like, this is how I view it. I don't view that Moldavia is not part of Romania. Historically, it is. But I do view them as being a blue state, and I do view Romania as being a red state. And so, like, it's not in my interest to have, like, 150,000 Russians that may even have, like, Russian favorite political affiliations coming here, forming political parties, getting votes, getting seats in the Senate. It's like, no. Maybe someone can convince me, right? Like, maybe someone can change my mind on this. But even so, as I mentioned before, not a deal breaker, right? Now, if the unification happens, from a Romanian point of view, I don't expect much to change. Like, I think things would be the same, because, like, already people can travel. From a Moldavian point of view, you may get gentrified. And this is true, it's something that people in Moldavia aren't told. It's like, okay, you may be getting bigger protection from Russia. Russia is less likely to invade a bigger nation than to invade a small chunk of land. That's true. But you're going to get wealthy Romanians, like, doing something that they could do now, but, like, the perception is different when it's, like, literally the same country. and just set up businesses in Moldavia, right? And they will move in and will pretty much do what happens in America when wealthy people move in. It's called gentrification. Not necessarily a bad thing, like your property, your house value is going to go up. If you sell it, you're going to be very wealthy, but, not everyone likes to move away from their neighborhood. Still, right? It's something to discuss. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.